Okay, so listen, the weather is not going to be nice the next couple of days, and you got the kids around. What are you going to do with the kids? Well, we got a fun activity for the whole family. Baker and contestant on the Great Canadian Baking Show, Alina Fintineanu, joins us in our canteen. So great to have you back on the show. I know you were on online last time you were on the show, but we have you in person to kind of take us through these gingerbread cookies. But they're specifically called what?
They're gingerbread letters for Santa. So these are gingerbread cookies with a royal icing on top that's left to set for about 2 or 3 days or so, and then you can actually write the letters to Santa and what you want from Santa to give you the Christmas.
That is actually that's icing on that?
That's icing, exactly. So the trick to it is that you have to pipe it out and let it dry for 2 or 3 days, but there is a trick to it.
Okay.
So if you just put it in the oven with the light off and you just leave it there overnight, honestly, I found out that they set a little bit quicker.
Really?
So
okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Where do we start here, Alina?
So we're going to start off with our dry ingredients. You have that bowl there. You're just going to give that a good whisk.
So what's all in here?
Inside there, you're going to have flour. You're going to have lots of spices. So if you have more delicate palates at home for the kids, you might want to decrease the ginger just a little bit. And there's also a secret ingredient. Now, Tim, do you make a lot of cookies?
Do not. No.
Okay. So you just eat a lot of them.
I eat a lot of them. I can be your tester, right?
Now, the secret ingredient to a lot of cookies, you might want to start adding this in, is cornstarch. Cornstarch will make cookies softer and chewier, which is really great. So
how much cornstarch do you need?
So in this one, there's 1 tablespoon, but for most of your cookie ingredients, you can add, a couple teaspoons, and it's like a magic thing.
Okay, so that's the dry.
That's the dry. Now this is going to be the wet. So here I've got unsalted butter at room temperature, and I've got brown sugar, and to this we're going to be just creaming this together, and we're going to add eggs, molasses, and probably a whole bunch of ingredients I can't quite remember right now because I'm a little nervous.
You're doing great. Always unsalted butter. Does it matter? Does it matter if you use salt?
Well, either way, salt is like a magic ingredient. You always want to add it because it pulls all the flavors together. So our salt is in the dry ingredients.
Is in here. That's why you.
If you don't want to put it in the dry, just use salted butter. It's really the same thing.
So we mix all of that up. We combine the two together.
We combine the two together, and then through the magic of television, we're going to have a dough that looks something like this.
So that's the dough that we have.
Exactly. It'll look like this. And then the secret to this is you're going to want to cut your cookies quite thick. And I will show you how to make the recipe on my website. We'll go over that as well.
Okay.
But basically, there's different baking temperatures depending on what kind of oven you have. So make sure you pay attention to that.
Okay.
So this is our dough. And the whole trick to the cookies is next the icing. Now, the icing itself, very easy.
Quickly before we skipped over, so we would roll this out, and then use that to cut these out.
That's exactly right. Absolutely.
Then we get these.
So we're going to have cookies that look like that, and you'll see that I've actually already outlined a piping outline that will prevent the flooding to kind of spill over the sides of the cookie. So we're going to have...
What do you call it? Flooding?
Flooding
the
cookie.
flooding.
Yeah,
that's when we're filling that in together. So let's do that together.
Exactly.
So what is it? Just basic icing?
So this is called royal icing. The ingredients in it are just egg whites, powdered sugar, vanilla, and water. You're going to have a stiffer version that's going to be for the outline, and a runnier version, which we're going to use right now, to actually flood the cookie. So I'm going to give this to you.
Okay, this one's mine.
You can just put that on the counter.
Okay.
So you're going to give it a little twist.
Twist.
And then you're going to put pressure from the top and just kind of go back and forth. And it'll start
starting in the corner?
Exactly, wherever you like.
Okay.
So you just kind of go over with the lines. And there's a funky little trick to this as well, because you want this to settle really nice and soft. So I'm just going to fill this in quick, and I'll show you how we do that.
How long have you been baking for?
I've been baking, well, since I was about 7 years old.
Really?
More
Okay.
seriously since, I would say in the last 8 years or so. I love it. I always find it really relaxing, even when it doesn't really.
Well, you must be so popular around the holiday season because you show up with so many baked goods, I would assume,
People
right?
can typically expect me to bring something. Yes, absolutely.
So gingerbread cookies, obviously you make. What is another specialty during the holidays that you love to make?
I love a good oatmeal cookie. I know that's a bit controversial, but I love oatmeal
raisins,
cookies.
chocolate chips, neither.
Chocolate chips.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm a raisin guy.
Oh, you know what? I'll
Raisins.
take it. I like raisins too.
Raisins are tough though, because some people don't like raisins. Okay, so we got that done.
Okay, you did an amazing job. So here's the trick to it. So you see right now we can still see the lines a little bit. If you take the side of your wrist and you just kind of give it some taps here, you're going to see that the lines start to settle down, and you can tap it quite firmly.
Okay, so we're running out of time, so let's do that. So that's tapped together. That's set. We put the lines together, so now we can start filling in what we want.
Exactly.
What we want for Christmas.
What's on your Christmas list this year?
I would say I need a new pillow. I have a really bad pillow. So,
and is this edible?
That is edible marker, exactly. There's a fine tip and a thick tip actually on my list, and believe it or not, I woke up really early today, so I really need a nap. So I hope Santa gets me that.
Okay, where can people find this recipe?
You can find this recipe on my website, bakingwithalina.com, and you're going to find lots of other recipes you can try, or connect with me on Instagram @LuxBaker.
@LuxBaker, the Lux Baker. Alina, thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
And I
Thank
can't
you
wait
for having
to
me.
share all of these delicious gingerbread cookies with the crew.
Oh, I love that.
Or will I? We'll be back on Morning Live.